Welcome to ElliptiGO's online support videos. In this video, we will remove the rear wheel. You will need the following tools: a 10 and 15 mm wrench and a 3 mm Allen wrench. Before we begin, we will need to identify which version of the Shimano 8-speed hub you have. One version routes the cable over the top of the hub, and the other version routes the cable below the hub. The easiest way to tell which version you have is to look at your gear indicator on your handlebars. Stand over the bike as if you were riding it and locate the gear indicator on the right hand side of the handlebars. If the leftmost number on your indicator is a 1, then you have the version where the cable was routed under the hub. If the leftmost number on your indicator is an 8, then you have the version where the cable is routed over the hub. Go ahead and pause the video to determine which version you have. Cool! If you have the version where the indicator starts with a 1 and the hub has the cable routed under it, then go ahead and continue watching this video. If you have the other version where the indicator starts with an 8 and the cable's over the hub, skip to the 2-minute 34-minute mark of this video.
First, place the bike on the kickstand. Pull the rear brake calipers into the rim with one hand while releasing the brake cable with the other. Disconnect the shifter cable from the rear hub. Shift the shifter for the rear hub into first gear. Grab the cable housing and pull it out of the hub shifter bracket. There is a slot at the bottom of the shifter bracket. Pass the cable through the slot to disconnect the cable from the bracket. With one hand, rotate the spring-loaded shifter pulley counterclockwise while unhooking the shifter cable with the other. Loosen the chain tensioner screw using a 5 mm hex wrench. Remove the chain tensioner brackets using a 3 mm hex wrench. Loosen both wheel nuts using a 15 mm wrench. Slide the rear wheel backwards out of the wheel brackets of the frame while removing the chain from the hub sprocket.
Start by placing the bike on the kickstand. Next, you'll shift into 8th gear, so shift up to 8th gear. Detach your rear brake. Pinch the calipers together and pull the brake noodle free of the bracket so that the brakes are clear, released. Then pull the shifter cable out of the cassette pulley. So pull the cable down and free of the cassette pulley, and then when the cable's loose, use that slack to pop the fixing nut out of the cassette joint. Make sure that your shifter cable is free of the wheel. Next, use your 10 mm wrench to loosen the chain tension nuts and back your chain tension bolts out. Using your 3 mm Allen wrench, remove the chain tension brackets on both sides. Using your 15 mm wrench, loosen your axle nuts. Loosen both sides, but you do not need to take them off. And then pull the rear wheel out of the frame dropouts and remove the chain from the sprocket.